So we are moving from the era of MDGs, Millennium Development Goals, to a new era of SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. What would these new SDGs include? They would commit the world to ending extreme poverty. This is vital for world peace. It is within our technological knowledge. China has shown how to reduce poverty dramatically within 2 generations to end poverty, because China only recently was a very poor country, but it made the fastest progress in human history in ending extreme poverty. China is now helping Africa to do the same. This is a wonderful contribution to global civilization. Since I'm in Africa all the time, I can see with my own eyes China's contribution in Africa to this objective. And I want to say, by the way, that as the fight against malaria, one of Africa's ancient scourges, has proven to be successful, the most important new medicine in the world to fight malaria is a Chinese discovery called artemisinin, which comes from the ancient Chinese treatment called qinghuaso, which and the Chinese scientists took this great ancient knowledge and turned it into the most important modern scientific knowledge. And it's an example of how China's science is playing a transformative role in promoting global sustainable development. Now, we also can have the goal that all countries become middle-income countries by the year 2030. We can have the goal that all societies become inclusive societies, reducing their degree of inequality. We need to ensure that all societies move to a low-carbon economy. This is a profound challenge. It will require, as the earlier speakers have wisely said, very deep technological knowledge. Here we have on the podium the windmills turning, but we're going to need the windmills not only at the podium, we're going to need them all over the world. We're going to need solar power, carbon capture and sequestration, electric vehicles, new technologies, smarter cities based on electric mass transport, based on smarter buildings, smart grids empowered by new information technology to transform how we live. What is exciting, ladies and gentlemen, is that because of the advances of scientific knowledge, the path ahead does not need to involve the end of economic progress. It does not need to involve a decrease of living standards. It does not need to tell poor countries there's no room for development. We have the possibilities through our knowledge, through the information revolution, through the dramatic decline of the cost of solar energy, for example, to power the world, increase economic productivity, and save the environment at the same time. Again, China's dynamism shows how this can be done because of China's enormous deployment of solar power. The cost of solar photovoltaics has declined from about $40 per watt 30 years ago to less than $1 per watt today. This is because of major Chinese companies that have radically reduced the costs of production. Now, some of those companies are in financial difficulty today because they produce so many solar panels, and the prices come down so much that even one big company entered bankruptcy recently. But we have to make sure that we don't cause the short-term problems to derail us from the long-term solution. We need China's solar production. It needs to increase still further, not to decrease, because solar power can power the entire world. tens or hundreds of times more power than we use today. But we need to keep that course moving forward. And again, I appeal to China's leadership and its dynamism to help find that road ahead. It has already contributed to a great breakthrough in low-cost solar power. And by the way, I could add, there is no continent in the world that needs solar photovoltaics more than Africa. Africa has wonderful sunshine, wonderful potential for solar energy. And if China and Africa work together, China will be able to help provide electricity for hundreds of millions of people that do not have it now. And this will create a sustainable Africa that will be a very important leading part of the world and an important partner with Asia and the rest of the world in 21st century sustainable development. This conference is going to take on the challenges of the great cities of the world. How can cities become sustainable? You will be talking a lot about sustainable buildings, green buildings, sustainable transport, new water and sanitation systems, new ways to manage waste. Let me just say that Asia is the home to more than half of the world's megacities. If you look at the 27 urban areas in the world today, more than 10 million population. Of those 27, 15 are in Asia. Tokyo, Guangzhou, Seoul, Jakarta, Shanghai, Delhi, Karachi, Mumbai, Manila, Osaka, Beijing, Calcutta, Dhaka, Bangkok, Tehran. This is the home of the world's largest cities. And these cities need to be the leaders in this new transformation to sustainable development. These cities are on the coasts. These are great trading cities. These cities depend on sea-based trade, and yet they are vulnerable to rising sea levels, vulnerable to storms, vulnerable to climate change. These cities, therefore, not only can lead this revolution to sustainable development, but will depend on it more than any other part of the world. It's very heartening and exciting to know of the leadership in Macau and the leadership in China in its commitment to sustainable development. I can only say just in time and hurry up. The time is very short. We just have decades to solve this problem. We don't have centuries. We have 2 to 3 decades to make a major transformation. Probably only China has shown how to make such a dramatic and rapid transformation in a short period of time. China's knowledge and inspiration and demonstration and direct leadership can therefore help to lead the world. Thank you very much for the great honor to be with you today.